Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Afif bin Ibrahim and I will be your moderator for the debate session.
Hai, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Nur Shahidah binti Chumli and I will be representing the business side in this debate session.
Hai, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Tengku Izzatin Abihah binti Kumas Kifli. I will be presenting the individual side in debate session. Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum and a very good day to our respected speakers. Our first speaker from the business team, Ms. Nur Shahida, and second speaker from the individual team, Tengku Izzatin Abihah, and to all our audience. Before we start, I would like to state the reason we are here today in this debate session. We will be debating on the stimulus package PRIHATIN that the government have initiated to help the economy. As there are two major viewpoints of the people from the business team and also the individuals team. The stimulus package issued by the government can be seen as something that is well executed at the right time due to our country facing the pandemic in the meantime. It might seem like it is intended to help businesses since they are having problems to adjust their workforce as well as to remain competitive for the people. However, the individuals or the citizens might think otherwise. The first phase of the payments of the Bantuan Prihatin Nasional one-off cash assistance of 8.3 million are for the households and unmarried individuals, which come from the B40 and M40, low and middle income groups. The initiatives of the Prihatin Rakyat Economic Stimulus Package Prihatin, unveiled by the government recently to help Malaysians from all walks of life to deal with the negative effects of the COVID-19 pandemic. Government announced additional measures for Prihatin or Prihatin Plus. The additional package, valued at RM10 billion, hopes to ease the financial burden of SMEs and subsequently assure two-thirds of the workforce will remain employed. The additional measures includes, first, the wage subsidy program announced on 27 March are expanded from 5.9 billion to 13.8 billion, a rise of 7.9 billion. Under this additional initiative, all companies will with local employees earning a monthly salary each of RM4,000 and below will receive wage subsidies. The second is a special Prihatin grant amounting to RM2.1 billion will be established for eligible micro enterprises. A grant of RM3,000 will be provided to each company, benefiting almost 700,000 micro enterprises. Without further ado, I would like to invite our first speaker, Ms. Shahida, to give her points on the issue. Please.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. From the latest speech from our Prime Minister, he stated that he received many feedback from associations and chambers of commerce representing the small and medium enterprise who have requested the government to review the assistance they have received in the economic stimulus package. As I am representing on business side, I am so glad that additional package for Prihatin or Prihatin Plus valued at 10 billion ringgit Malaysia will ease the financial burden of SMEs and automatically can maintain the workers' source of income during pandemic even though the business cannot be operated. As my first point, I am agree that SMEs group should be more focused on because as we can see, business is one of the contributors to GDP country. If these groups cannot protect their sale and performance, this company will affected and get down. Even company has savings or emergency money to pay workers' salaries, it cannot support for 5 or 6 months. So, the alternative that will make by a manager is they will eliminate it and reduce the number of workers. So, that's why government gives subsidies of wages to workers even they cannot attend to the company and cannot continue to do their work. Next point. SMEs company need to survive in order to pay for the fixed costs because even though the production is not running on, they still need to pay for the fixed costs such as machinery, rental, and land. Fixed cost is the expenses that does not change from month to month, regardless of the business sales or production volume. In other words, they are set expenses that company must pay. So it is clear statement to be agreed why government need to focus more on SMEs company because they have many expenses to pay for compared to individual people.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Shahida. Next, let's proceed to our second speaker, Ms. Izati, that will deliver her case about individual side.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. Good morning to respected speaker and our moderator. As the second speaker, I will present first agreement about the government is satisfied in providing assistance to individual side and one rebuttal for second agreement from speaker one. Now, to first point, I think that the assistance for both household and unmarried individuals are relevant because as we can see based on the findings on the basic survey and household income 2019 by Department of Standards Malaysia, there are almost 40% of population that comprise in B40 group, which their lowest income group per monthly below than 4,360 ringgit Malaysia, while for M40 also have almost 40% from the populations that their total income per month almost 4,360 ringgit Malaysia to 9,619 ringgit Malaysia. Thus, we can conclude that there are 80% of populations in Malaysia which are not have fixed income group where their household income will be affected because of the spread COVID-19 that require everyone to be home to prevent the infection. Next, I rebuttal the second point of first speaker about her statement of governments need to focus on SMEs company because they have many expenses to pay for compared to individual people. This is because during COVID-19 outbreak, our government has set the Movement Control Order (MCO) is the restrictions movement of people implement as a preventive measure by the federal government of Malaysia is response to the COVID-19 pandemic in the country on 18 March 2020. Provision of movements and mass assembly nationwide including all religious, sport, social and cultural activity that test toward all residents within the area are provided for exiting their homes during the order which it may increase their consumption for their life. And unfortunately, they are not have the stable household income. Thus, government have collaborated with the TNB by providing the gradual discount 15% and 50% on electricity usage with maximum limit of 600 kilowatts per month.
Okay, maybe you can consider from the reason why government need to focus on SMEs as to support the local business from falling due to the limitation of their business. This is because local company had so much losing due to the high input price that they invest in the process of the making the products. When they cannot sell their product as usual, they forced to sell the products in local market with cheaper price to finish the stock because the product is not long lasting and perishable. For examples, from the Department of Statistics Malaysia has stated that more than 10,000 tons of fruits been thrown in Lembah Kelang since the Movement Control Order or MCO had been declared. This happened because lorries transportation and also whole market afraid to operate due to the limitation of the movement. In addition, the demand of fresh vegetables has seen drop since the MCO declared. The MCO, which saw the closure of the night market, farmers market, and some restaurants, resulted in the wholesaler choosing to buy in a smaller quantity to avoid losses.
Oh, I understand what you're saying, but I don't think that is practical because we can see with the extent movement control or the MCO is full swing. More people are relying on food delivery services for meals. So why not SME owners can try to enter the market by contribution of food delivery? This is of COVID-19 which can support their income and do work at home. Since we are Muslims are adapting to new normal. Countries have restricted movement to curb the spread of daily coronavirus. Our government has set e-commerce platform of Ramadan e-Bazaar program, which can help the smaller trader to deliver their products to the customer in view of countries' stay-home order. Thus, I believe that government are more required to provide the assistance from individual side.
I see your point, and yes, I think it is the strong argument. It's very challenging for SMEs to make sure that they can hit their sales target like in the previous years for this Ramadan. But maybe they can try their best. The food will be delivered by our delivery partners such as Grab, Boom Eat, Mr. Speedy, Zipto, Express, and Match Dispatch. And the centers will comply with the social distancing rules and strict cleanliness practice. Thus, I think I'm agree with your statement that the government more prefer to give the assistance to individual side more than business side because most of the SME sellers are come from B40 which do not have the fixed income.
Mhm.
That's absolutely true. It can be concluded that the government today is a government that cares about the people's problem. Therefore, we must unite in helping the government to use the best assistance received by a variety of students' requests and also to create an emergency fund. Everyone needs to know their own social game. Lighten your hands and reduce the burden and help as much as you can.
Wow. Thank you for all the speakers. That was a very heated arguments given by both sides. And I do want to emphasize this to our audience. I am also one of the citizens. Since I am working under a company, I do feel the weight of the situation. What I can draw based from the given points are both parties have significant effect from the stimulus package. From one side, the business can still thrive even in this pressure and frightful condition, both physical and mental health. The business won't face a sudden and high impact from the restriction of movement order due to workers' restriction and consumers' reduction. From the individual's point of view, it can be seen that this will help consumers, which is also part of the supply chain, to provide resource for business. People will be more inclined to spend money knowing that the government is giving lots of initiative to reduce the financial burden of people. And some of you might already guess, but this whole chain can create very good flow of supply and demand that will liven up the nation's economy, since both sides is dependent to the other. Thank you for your contribution to this discussion. Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Okay,
Thank
bye.
you.